Hello, gorgeous lady. Welcome to another episode at Truhealing. I'm Dr. Disha, your root cause doctor, here to help you balance your hormones naturally and create the babies and lives you love. It's my mission and passion to help women live better lives at any age, but especially over 35. So, welcome. Truhealing is an intimate place for intimate conversations where we talk everything women's hormones related, from periods to puberty to menopause, from PMS to fertility, anything. And if you are on social media, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook, where I share weekly tips which you don't find anywhere else. So this is day 6 of Know Your Cycle mini course by Truhealing. And today we are going to know what's normal and what isn't normal in your period cycle. Today is day 6 and this mini course is going to teach you everything you need to know about how your body and your period works. So we have finally gotten to the good stuff, how you can benefit from understanding how your body works. Trying to figure out whether your periods are normal can be tricky. Are cramps just normal part of having a period? I see this all the time. Women come to me and they say, "Doctor, I have normal period cramps." So is it normal to have period cramps? Let's talk about it. Also, how often should your period come? Is PMS healthy? Is digestive health linked to your periods? What can your periods tell you about the health of your body? Each of these questions, along with many others, will be addressed in today's video, giving you the education you need to spot potential health problems in your own body. So let's see what a normal period looks like. Let's start with cycle length and regularity. What's normal when it comes to cycle regularity? A normal and healthy menstrual cycle will range anywhere from 21 to 34 days long. Your period starts on the first day of your cycle and ends the day before your next period. Your cycle starts on the first day of your bleeding and ends the day just one day before your next period. It's normal and healthy for your menstrual cycle length to vary up to 5 to 7 days. And this means that some of your cycles could be 25 days, others could be 32 days, or sometimes in between. And they are still considered normal. But what is not normal? If your cycles are consistently less than 21 days long, or consistently more than 34 days long, then it's not normal. Menstrual cycle that varies wildly in length means some of your cycles could be 60, or some might be 35, then some might be more than 90, or it could be anywhere in between and beyond. Now these things are not normal and they are the signs of an unhealthy cycle. Talking about menstrual flow, it's normal and healthy to have bright red flow that is free from clots and lumps, etc. It's normal and healthy to have a period that lasts between 4 to 7 days, ideally around 5 days, but anywhere between 4 to 7 days is normal. Now, what's not normal? Brown, black, or red spotting in the days before you start your period is common, but it's not normal. It's actually a sign of unhealthy period. It's also not normal to have very dark red, brown, black, or very light pink menstrual flow. It's also not normal to have a flow that is lumpy or heavily clotted. And additionally, it's not healthy to have such a heavy amount of bleeding that you end up changing your pads or tampons in less than 2 hours. So if you're needing to change your super heavy pad or tampon, more frequently than every 2 hours, that's probably a sign that your bleeding is a little too heavy. And finally, if your period lasts less than 4 days or more than 7 days, it is also a sign of a potential period problem. Next, talking about period pain or cramps. Now, this is a big one, ladies. Regardless of what we have all been taught, your period should be pain-free. If you do have any period pain, it should be so minor that it does not interfere with any of your daily activities. I know it's very contrary to what many of us have been taught, but I can't stress that enough. Anything outside of that is very likely an indication that you have an underlying problem that needs to be addressed. What's definitely not normal and healthy is pain that requires taking a sick day from work or missing school or college, or pain that makes you vomit or feel nauseous, or pain that requires the use of NSAIDs or pain medications, or if the pain interferes with your life in any other way. So telling about my story, I have suffered with severe major period cramps, terrible cramps for the better part of my life, and I used to just pop up painkillers. I also remember missing some important events and exams because of my period pains. And after healing my body, I'm happy to report that my periods are completely pain-free. So about cervical fluid, it's normal and healthy to have a fluid that progressively changes from thick and tacky to slippery, and it's normal and healthy to have fluid that is white or yellow or clear in color, or even a combination. What is not normal? If you have more than 1 week straight of slippery cervical fluid, that's an indication that there could be a problem. If you have no slippery cervical fluid at all throughout your cycle, that is also an indication of hormone imbalance. Fluid that does not dry up after ovulation usually signals an issue. And lastly, any sudden changes in your cervical fluid pattern is probably a signal that something is not quite right. Talking about body temperature, it's normal and healthy to have 12 to 16 days of elevated body temperature after you ovulate, which means that your luteal phase is around 12 to 16 days long. So ovulating anywhere from 10 to 20 days after your period starts is also normal. And finally, your body temperature that are above 97 degrees Fahrenheit before ovulation are considered normal and healthy. What is not normal when it comes to body temperature? 10 or less days of elevated temperature after ovulation. So if your luteal phase is 10 or lesser days long, then that's usually a signal of a problem. If you ovulate less than 10 days or more than 20 days after your period starts, that is also not normal. And if your temperatures are regularly below 97 degrees Fahrenheit before you ovulate, that usually signals a problem as well. Next, what's normal and healthy when it comes to mood? And this one is pretty basic. It's normal and healthy to feel emotionally balanced throughout your cycle. That doesn't mean that you are extremely happy all the time and you're smiling all the time, but obviously you're going to have your ups and downs. But for most part, you should feel relatively balanced. It's not normal to have PMS or mood swings that interfere with your daily activities. Or if you have PMDD, cyclic anxiety, or depression, these are often signs of an underlying issue. Feeling weepy for absolutely no reason, or sometimes for very minor reasons, or if you feel completely out of control of your emotions, that could be a signal of a problem. I have had experience with many of these on abnormal scale, and luckily I don't have to struggle with these anymore. So next up is talking about digestion, and we are going to get into some poop talk now. Just for your information, it's healthy to have a bowel movement every day, at least once a day, preferably 2 times a day during your cycle. You should also have no intestinal sensitivity or discomfort. What's not normal? To have diarrhea during your periods or during any other day of your cycle. It's also not normal to be constipated at any point. You should never feel like your bowels are not completely empty after using the bathroom. Every time you use the bathroom, you should feel like your bowels are fully empty, and if this is not the case, that is definitely a big issue. And lastly, it's not normal to have gas, bloating, or any other intestinal discomfort. Next up is skin. Let's talk about your skin, and it's normal and healthy to have clear skin. And it's not normal to have dry, itchy, or flaky skin, to have rashes, acne. See, once in a while, occasional pimple is okay, but having severe acne is not normal. Any sort of skin redness or even psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, they are definitely not normal. And finally, let's talk about energy and libido. So for many of us, this is one of the biggest concerns. It's normal and healthy to have stable energy and libido levels throughout the day and throughout the month. Obviously, it's going to fluctuate from day to day, but overall it should be relatively consistent. What is not normal is to constantly feel fatigued or have lack of energy. If you wake up feeling unrested, that's a sign of adrenal fatigue. If you have low or non-existent libido, that's definitely a sign of problem. And you shouldn't have brain fog and memory issues. If you're having this trouble concentrating, if you have brain fog, memory issues, or if your head feels fuzzy and if you're having difficulty paying attention to things, that's definitely not normal. So if you struggle with any of these issues, you're not alone. I have been there. I struggled with many, honestly speaking, with most of these issues for many years before I could finally learn to balance my hormones and heal my body. And before I finally figured this out, that they were intimately connected to my horribly painful periods. You don't deserve to suffer. You don't deserve to feel like this every month. So next time we are going to take all the information we learned today and apply this, and then we will discuss the things that you can start doing right away so as to balance your hormones and improve your symptoms. This information completely changed my life, and I truly hope that it will do the same for you. I'm super excited for our upcoming session, and I can't wait to see you soon. Bye.